also in that time period, like you mentioned earlier about not having fear at that age.
Yep.
I do believe you when you say that, but part of me goes, is there any moments when you're about to attempt a double backflip? Like, does something go through your mind? Like, what if it goes wrong? Like, does that even cross your mind, or are you just so focused on landing it?
No, 100%, man. Like, yeah, if I was thinking that all the time.
Yeah.
Putting your gear on, and the double backflip was so scary. Like,
Yeah.
I shit myself. I didn't talk to no one. I couldn't eat. You know, I was so nervous every time.
Yeah.
I landed I think I wasn't counting, but I landed 60 of them.
Yeah.
And crashed about probably 15.
Right.
It's not a bad ratio.
Yeah, that's right. It was such a scary trick. But before every double flip I did, I shit my pants. And I used to think about it, but when you're putting your gear on and there's 10,000 people in the stands, they paid money to see this. There's no backing out.
Yeah.
You can try to psych yourself out. You can tell yourself you're scared. What happens if this happens? But I never not thought I was never not going to do it.
Yeah.
I was going to do it. I'll shit my pants, but I was always going to do it.
Mm.
So that's like the hardest part. You know, it was very scary, but
I can't imagine.
Competing X Games and Red Bull X fighters and stuff.
Mm.
That's why I used to be so scared because there was no backing out. I'm here. I'll sign up for this.
Yeah.
So that made it even scarier.
When did you plant the idea or the seed in your mind that you wanted to go to the X Games and even, I guess, take on this trick? Is that what you call them, tricks?
Yeah, tricks. Yeah. I guess as soon as I started doing the double flip, that's when I got an invite straight away. You know.
Yeah. But
the worst thing is, I got invited for the 2009 X Games. The week before that was the Madrid Red Bull X fighters. That's where I had that really big crash.
Mm.
I crashed in Madrid in 2009, and that's when I was in a coma, and I had a fair few injuries, and I was stuck in hospital over there for like a few months. So I was actually, not a few weeks, sorry. So I was in hospital as X Games was on.
Oh.
So I had to wait another 12 months. You know,
did you go to the next X Games?
Yeah, 12 months after, yep.
After being in a coma for a week, yeah.
Yeah, the doctor said I won't be able to ride a bike for at least 12 months. I had to learn to walk and talk and just all the basics,
Eat.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. So put my foot down. My wife helped a lot, with my rehab and stuff like that, and doctors and stuff. And so as soon as I could walk, and that motivated me to, think about the next thing. And that was to run, and that was to walk upstairs, and it's still such little basic things, but
crazy
for me to to take baby steps. And once I knew how to run, go to gym, I could swim. Next thing was like, okay, I'm going to start riding again. Ride motocross.
Mm.
That led to hitting ramps again.
Yep.
And I wasn't allowed to drink any alcohol. I loved my beers back then in the day, so I wasn't allowed to drink alcohol. I remember coming up to Christmas time, and I promised my wife I wouldn't drink unless I did a backflip. So I was like, Christmas Eve, I think I was out of Bilko's house, and like, fuck it, I'm doing a backflip. So I flipped, and then I was like, sweet, now I can get on the beers over Christmas.
That's unreal.
Double whammy for the wife. Can you talk to, especially for the listeners, I mean, we've heard this story, it's incredible about the crash, but
yep.
I think it's just a fascinating story. I'm even interested to hear about the days leading up to it, what's coming, and that whole night, take us through what it was like when you're about to go out, and if you can remember it.
The actual night I can't remember, no, but the leading up to it was a pretty hectic schedule for me. Because I had started off in Texas, Austin, Texas.
Yep.
Fort Worth, Texas. Sorry.
Okay.
Red Bull X fighters. So I did 3 double flips there, but I fucking hurt my ankles real bad. Real bad. I never got them checked out because I didn't want to hear the bad news.
I was going to say, because I've heard that they were broken.
Yeah, that's what my physio said. I'll show you photos. They're actually on my phone. I was looking at them yesterday, actually.
Really?
But both feet were fucked, and ligaments, and their physio reckons they were broken. But anyway, so I had a show lined up in, where was this? It wasn't San Sebastian. Mallorca in Spain.
Okay.
And that was a weekend before Red Bull X fighters. So I didn't do any practice at all between Texas and Mallorca. Went to Mallorca, landed a double flip, only just, because I had no practice.
Can we actually, had anyone landed this before? The double
Pastrana
Yep.
had landed one.
Yep.
And Scott Murray had landed a bunch at the time, so I was the third guy.
So only 2 people had landed it?
Yep.
Wow.
And you got broken ankles?
Yeah, but my ankles were fucked, and then...
even travelling with broken ankles, getting...
I was fucked. Leading up to this Madrid crash was fucking hectic, and then... So I did the double flip in Mallorca, and then... Actually went to Ibiza the week in between. Didn't really...
I bet he wasn't training there.
Yeah, that's pretty why I crashed.
That's how he really broke his ankle.
So I went to Madrid, and I was so hot over there. It was July is like summer over there, and I was very hot, so... It was very mentally draining. and had practice qualifying. Did a double flip in qualifying on the Thursday night. Did a double flip in best trick on the Thursday night. I sort of had on one of my double flips. I sort of whiskey throttled and hit the wall and hurt my shoulder. So I was in physio the morning of the finals, which is on the Friday, and that was me. Ankles worked on by one physio, and my shoulder worked on by the other physio. From then on, this is what I've been told, obviously. From then on, I was just battling all day, and come to the night program, and just obviously mentally wasn't right.
Yep.
Physically wasn't right, and just didn't pull right, and just under rotated the double flip, and the ground over there is like freaking.
Well, the vision of it essentially looks like you just land on your head.
Yeah, and I was just
It's
landing my head onto a concrete, to a blue groove landing. It was like hard clay. There's no forgiveness in the dirt.
Yeah.
And from then on, yeah.
It's the reactions too of the other guys too.
Oh yeah.
Like that's what makes it so, I don't know, like raw thing to watch, because you know it's just a concern and everything stops and like everybody rushes out.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't find any that had the crowd reaction. Do you know what? And do you even watch the footage?
Yeah, I watch it all the time still.
Really?
I'm still surprised I'm here, you know, like that's, to me, my head was backwards and just got smashed, but...
Do you show your kids that, by the way?
Yeah,
Have they seen it?
Brooke doesn't like me showing the kids, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, not really. Roxan's still a bit young. Lottie's not really that interested in watching it.
Yeah.
But right at that point, our sport was just beaming, you know, worldwide. It was just such a huge sport, and the risks were so high. All the tricks we were doing were so dangerous. And at that year, there had already been a couple of guys that had passed away from riding freestyle because it was such a dangerous sport. So everyone just thought I was dead. My dad thought I was just dead because it had been a fair few fatalities that year from freestyle because the sport was so high risk. I just thought, yeah, there goes another one pretty much. But
Far out.
luckily, I was very, very thankful that I was in Madrid, Spain. There was a very good medical system over there, very, very good doctors. That had happened like anywhere else in the world, you know, say Mexico or somewhere not quite as busy in a way.
What were some of the like specific injuries?
Main injury was, I guess the main was my liver. It was split. I was internal bleeding was real bad, so I had to do emergency surgery on that. Through my groin, they had to tie the liver back together. And then I was in a coma, obviously, so they induced me in a coma for 7 days, let my body rest. And it's had like my shoulder was cracked, my shoulder blade, sorry. Apparently my cheek had a fracture, my hip had a fracture. Not sure if that was from previous.
Or Ibiza, or yeah.
The dance floor, yeah. No, I'm not sure. So there's a lot of little injuries here and there, but the major one was my liver. So once that, it was they stopped the internal bleeding.
That's really serious.
The more worry about the head and make sure when I woke up, they weren't sure how I was going to wake up. But yeah.
Do you ever wake up some mornings now and go, why the fuck have I done what I've done? Your body must just be sore
I feel as if everything's worth it. Everything I've done, 100%. Like when I look around my house, what I got now, and yeah, so.
Look at the life you've created.
Exactly. You've created all, that must be an amazing feeling to look around and you've literally created all this, like yourself.
It makes it all worth it. It does. That's right.
Like that's a proper, like we hear about stories of millionaires in business, but this is like a totally different way of.
That's the way. Life can just change so quickly, you know. Like if I didn't have the partner I had at the time, Brooke, and if I was just living the single life, making all this money, traveling the world, riding, doing tricks and stuff, I'd probably just be renting a house in Frankston, and then I'd be telling myself, "Fuck, this wasn't worth it." But,
yeah.
You know, because I did the right decisions when I was making good money and had the right, you know, my partner Brooke helped, and yeah, so it could easily go one way or the other, you know.
Yeah.
It's an interesting talking point as well. You know, we're not taught how to manage money, especially when you make money. You know, there's a lot of people out there that have probably created a decent sized profile on whatever their brand is or who they are. And you just see everyone wants to buy the G-Wagon or the really nice car or the Rolex. And I'd love to know the statistic, but like NFL players, I think there's a crazy stat of how many of them like they blow the money within the first, say their career only lasts 4 years. Yep. All their money's gone.
That's amazing. I could have easily gone down that path, but I was like very thankful for Brooke and the connection she's got with her family, and we sort of met a few good people that could help me manage all my money. So if it was up to me, like I wouldn't have anything, you know. I bailed out of school when I was in year 9, struggled at school, and I was just very thankful and lucky that I had the right people to help me with all my funds and making the right decisions with my money, and yeah.
I'm interested too, just going back to like the injury side of things now. So you've got a name, Cam Sinclair. Sinclair, should get that right.
We're not interviewing Cam Sinclair, okay? He runs the butchers down the road.
Yeah. But I'm interested too, like for those that have made their name, there's a difference. But you said earlier you felt sorry for like the guys that are like, you know, in their early 20s now and they want to get into the industry. So you're saying back then to do a backflip, everyone's going, wow, like how cool is this? Yep. But for those that actually need to prove themselves in this industry, what lengths do they have to go to get attention now? Like these tricks must be getting bigger and more dangerous and people risking their lives.
Yeah, shit for my industry, my sport, I feel as if it's too late, I think, honestly. Because like I said, when myself and Bilko joined, when we started riding freestyle, it was that sport was down here.
Yep.
So as our careers built, the sport built, you know, the tricks got bigger, the crowd loved it. But now it's been around for about, you know, 10 years, over 10 years. I mean, on Nitro Circus 10 years, a few years with Crusty. So the last 15 years, it's been a pretty massive thing, you know. So I think the excitement of it is sort of dying as well. So for someone that wants to get into freestyle motocross, it's going to be really hard because it's so dangerous and such a high risk to get to that level. Yeah. And I just don't think it's very as spectacular anymore because a backflip or a double backflip even these days is not new.
Well, even I think about some people that we love on social media like Shami and what's Jackson's last name? O'Doherty?
Yeah.
Jackson O'Doherty, like these stunt guys, like going back to almost pranksters and the jackass style. Porn stars with the OnlyFans. Exactly right. I mean, if I had the rig, I'd probably have an OnlyFans account. But
he pays for other people. So.
Yeah. Well, thanks for throwing me under the bus there. Sorry, Garni, the missus.
Can't get away with that.
But what I was going to say was the jackass style, for example. Like we were looking up as well. What did with Nitro Circus? What did Johnny Knoxville do?
Well, I don't know how you know more than us, but it sounds like he was the one that really pushed it to MTV to get Nitro Circus on there.
Yeah, 100%. I think so. It was a big, same sort of company with Pastrana and MTV. I guess they all work together. Yeah.
Now with social media, the actual industry, because of social media, people can just go and throw their mate in a pool or scare them. Right. Like to go and build like some type of profile around, you know, doing tricks on your motorbike, which sounds one, expensive, two, it's so saturated with people, and
saturated,
and three, like it's like you said, it's not that it's fading out, but
we're accustomed to seeing stunts, we're accustomed to seeing pranks, we're accustomed to seeing ridiculous. Like I remember when we were kids and like mobile phones were just coming out, and someone would just send you a video that I don't know where the hell they got this video, and it'd be something graphic. Like in whether it's an injury or whether it's even porn or so, like, and it's something so shocking because you haven't seen it. But now we're so accustomed to seeing all this sort of stuff that like, how do you get attention?
Seeing a double backflip, like you said earlier, it's probably not as impressive as what it was.
Exactly right, nowhere near it because there was no social media. It's like if you see it, you got to go fucking pay $80 to go see it at Nitro Circus. Where now it's just like, Harry could go do it and he could post it and everyone could see it. A million people around the world could see it.
Yeah. But
to be able to see it back when I did it, you had to come and see it live.
Pay the cash.
That's right. So that's why it's so different now. A lot of people will prefer to just sit on their couch, kick back and flick through their Instagram and see what's going on rather than exploring it live. And it's just to say like we said, saturated. So you can see it, watch it a million times on your phone and then go watch it live. It's not that cool because you've seen it already a million times. Where back when I was doing it, you couldn't really see it prior to the shows. So it made such a big impact, I guess.
So like we were talking on the drive up based around that kind of stuff. When you started, you said you and Bilko were the young guys coming in, and we had Jack Simpson on the show and he spoke so highly of you and what you did for him. Now you're like almost the leader of this young group of guys. Like what's that transition like from coming in from learning the ropes from everybody else to being more of a leader or the more mature one or the more
experienced?
No, it's actually it's a privilege, I guess. It's I love to be able to hand it down as much as I can, but I don't know. Simo's a legend. He's old man, helped me out a lot, because my parents split and I decided to go down the freestyle path. He helped me so much with building my ramps, he had excavators and dirt and stuff, so he helped me a lot. Even in the foam pit, he was out there pulling me out of the foam pit with his crane truck,
That's
I was like, so Dave helped me out so much with my career. To sort of, that was when I was first starting too. So he was there for me a lot, and Jack was like, what is it? It was like 7. Was
He would have been probably very young.
He was very young, and we got him in the foam pit and started doing flips and stuff. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, like his whole family is great. Booney and his mum, they're all very supportive of their kids as well, and they help me out a lot too.
And you know, you look at him now, and you know, you played a big part in his kind of progression in his career. But he's, you know, you look what he's doing. He's taking risks.
Oh, big time.
Going overseas, you know, he's doing incredible things.
Like he was very good at races. He was a very fast racer.
Yeah.
Winning races and stuff. And now he's obviously chosen that path to something new, something that's going to make him a little bit more excited than just cutting motos around the same track. But now he's just holding it on and just got balls now, that's for sure.
Yeah. What's we mentioned Nitro Circus. What's Travis Pastrana like?
Oh, Travis, man, like he's just like us boys. He's just down to earth, just very friendly, talks to anyone. Yeah. He's got such a high profile. Yeah. And you'd be scared to talk to him, but he's just like one of the boys. He's a
same off camera as he would be on camera.
Exactly right. He's the exact same. Yeah, he's a legend. Yeah. He's just a funny bloke. He helped me out a lot. Yeah. You know, been on tour with him. He helped everyone push the limits. Yeah. So did everyone on Nitro Circus. That's what Nitro Circus was all about, just pushing the limits.
And having a beer after.
Oh yeah, he loves the beers. Yeah. No, I had a good time. But he's great. Yeah. Very supportive and very motivated. Yeah.
What's it like after shows? Like you mentioned beers and stuff, but you also obviously. But the other thing too,
his jaw just dropped. Yeah.
but the other side of it too is obviously like there's a huge fitness component to it. You come from F45 this morning, so there must be a weird kind of contradiction between the two.
Yeah, like I said, when I'm home, that's when I work and I try to stay fit and healthy. When you're on tour, it's like you're on a fucking bucks party with the boys. Yeah. You obviously got to perform, and the risk is very high. So
hearing that, if you ever need any roadies, just exactly.
But now, obviously, it's a lot different now. A lot different. Travis has got kids. I've got kids. He's got kids. A lot of the riders, we're sort of past that now. Yeah. But from when we're like 22 to 30, it was like it was so fun. We used to perform. Beers after the show, beer bongs, skull and beers. Everyone's just a piss up. Honestly, it was. Yeah. After parties after every show, we had an absolute ball. A lot of great memories on that side of the job. But we had a great time. Yeah, we always, especially after a show, you survive the show. You're not fucking in hospital. Yeah. Where the beers.
Celebrate.
Celebrate. Exactly right. We used to celebrate after every show. I think we're doing freaking 60 something shows a year, so it's 60 after parties. There's a lot. Yeah.
What's it like having kids ask for your autograph and stuff? You know, that must be pretty cool as well. You know, being somewhat of a hero to the younger generation.
Oh, 100%. That's the fun side of it. You know, to be able to be recognised. Still to this day, if I get recognised, I'm like, fuck, that still makes me smile. You know.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's still it's very that will never get old. But so kids wise, it's like my kids are there now and they come to the shows with me. We actually, just before COVID, we spent 3 months in America. My little boy wasn't even 1 year. He had his first birthday in America. My daughter had her 5th birthday in America.
Oh, wow.
Oh, how cool.
So that was sort of the last big stint for me being on tour with my family.
Hit Disneyland or?
Yeah. My daughter's, she's 9. She's been to Disneyland twice. And
oh, wow.
She's been to America a few times.
Yeah, she's a lucky girl.
Yeah. So it's been fun to have the kids and the family come with me to experience the tour life. Yeah. So and we just obviously finished the Australian tour. They came to a fair few of the shows around Australia, and then the US tour is coming up, but they're in school now. Yeah. So it's so hard for them to come over. So I might just go back and forth and make a hectic schedule out of it. But it's the only way I'm going to be able to make it work.
Yeah, you explained to us earlier.
Can you explain that schedule to the listeners? Because it's amazing.
Yeah. So for me to be able to go over there, it's every weekend in July. There's like 2 to 3 shows. I think there's like 9 shows just in July.
In all different parts of the country.
Yeah. We start over in, I think, Reno is on the 1st of July, which I'm going to try to get to that one. And then July 4th in Las Vegas.
Oh, that's a big one.
So I'll spend you'd love to go to that.
Yeah. So the plan is to spend the week in Vegas after that. And then there's another 2 shows the following weekend. And we've got a Sunday show. So Monday I'll fly home, land on the Wednesday, Thursday with the kids, and fly back Friday.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's the only way I'll make it work. Because there's no weekends free, so it's just like during the week I got off. Yeah. So if I can make it work, to come back and see the kids, make sure the business is running smoothly, and
it also says as well. It says where your values lie. You know?
Yeah.
It's the family aspect is the most important part.
100%. That's right.
You know, you need to go and obviously earn the dollar
Yep.
to keep this bloody beautiful house running. But come home, make sure the kids are still seeing you.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I was originally going to have the family come over with me for a few weeks here and then stay over there for the whole time. I had my family come over, but Brooke doesn't really want to fly over there with the kids. And same with Lottie, she's been over there a few times, so she's not that interested in going, which is sort of weird. But you think that she'd be stoked about going to Disneyland.
Yeah.
But she's, like she said, she's seen it already, and she enjoys school, and so that's what I thought. I'm going to be able to make it work if I just come back during the week.
Yeah,
a couple of days, it should be fine.
Business class or?
I'm going to try work on that. Don't know. As like I said, it's still not 100% confirmed. I only got my visa back, so yeah. Hopefully when this comes out, I'll be over there. I'll be watching it over there.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Do you have in your mind like an age of when you're going to sort of give it up? Or?
Yeah, I my whole career, I said I'm going to hang the boots up when I'm 30.
Okay.
So I'm 38. That's the funniest thing. All the crashes I had when I was like in Madrid and Beamer, and I did all that before I was 30, and I was just like, I think another few more years left, and I'll be I'm going to hang the boots up.
Yeah.
Come 30, Nitro Circus sent me another contract. Rockstar renewed my contract. I'm like, another year.
Yeah. Love
8 years later, I'm still going on tour. That's and
awesome.
having a good time.
Oh, I love it. And also too on that is, how's your perspective changed in terms of now? Obviously, by the way, like when we were driving up, so Dawson and I were very confident when we're together. Then we rocked up to the property, and I think we both shit ourselves for a minute, got a bit anxious. And you're just so humble and welcoming, like you're such a down to earth guy. But I'd love to know how it's changed your perspective since having kids. So I know I've heard you speak before about when you were younger, you didn't give a shit if you got hurt. You didn't give a shit. I think you said you wouldn't even care if you died doing it at the time.
That's right. That's exactly
now,
right.
Like it must be totally different.
100%. Yeah, exactly, mate. It's completely different now, the way I look at things. I promised my wife, especially after that big crash in Madrid, I said she didn't want me to do a double flip ever again.
Yeah.
But I still went and did, won X Games and got a few medals and still did a few, but she was always against it because what I put her through over in Madrid was hard for her. So I promised her once we have our first child, Lottie, I won't do a double flip ever again.
Okay.
And I think I did one. I think. When was that? I think I did X Games in X Games 2012. Actually, no, she was pregnant. Sorry.
Oh.
X Games 2012, I got bronze. I did a double flip, and that was the last time I ever did.
Yeah.
And that was in like August, and Lottie was born in September.
Got her on a technicality.
Yeah, so I got her. She wasn't quite out yet.
Are you the only Aussie to win an X Games Gold?
No, Bilko has. And
Bilko has.
No, there's a fair few now.
Is there?
Like Jackson Strong,
Yeah.
Rob Alderberg, Josh Sheehan, Bilko.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of us now that have won some
So
golds.
what was that? What is the process there? So like, is it like the Olympics? Like you get up on a podium and you're presented with your gold and
If I said we'll post some photos up later if you want to.
Yeah,
do that.
cool.
You'll see all the
national anthem and stuff?
No, I don't go that far. No, I think people in America would never.
Yeah, the Americans.
The fuck's this song?
We asked Simo this question too, and I can't remember off the top of my head. I don't think he basically said. He said wheelie bins. We asked him, "What are you actually afraid of? Do you have any fears or phobias that outside of what you do, like spiders?"
No, it's obviously
Cam Sinclair scared of something.
Yeah, obviously snakes. I'm shit scared of snakes. I haven't yet seen one on my property. I've been here for 8 years, and
Yeah, well that's all right.
it's just very lucky. But they're around. I know for a fact
Yeah.
they're around. My neighbours had one last year.
Shit.
Obviously snakes. Obviously everyone's scared of snakes. But
Yeah.
oh shit, man! Like I was always scared of doing tricks. I'm still am. Like comes to if I head over to the US, I'll be on a 3-person backflip over there. That's scary.
What about like failing when you was that ever a fear when you're in front of a huge crowd in an arena and there's flames going up and the lights and the music and everything? Is failing something that goes through your head, or is it more the chance of injury? Or
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't really failing. No, it's more of a chance of injury. I was scared of obviously hurt myself.
Yep.
Honestly, the people that are paying money to watch you, they're 90% paying to watch you crash anyway. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually never thought
so
about.
there's no
it
such
like
thing
that.
as failure. If you crash, the fucking crowd is stoked.
Jeez.
The only thing that's a failure is when you get bones hanging out your legs. That's a failure. But
Well, with Nitro, because it's the ramp's a bit different, isn't it? Like it's not softer, but what is it? It's like
now, like
now
it's
compared
like an
to
airbag. It's like an airbag.
yeah.
Now. It's so much soft.
Whereas back then, the difference, like crashing on It'd be complete opposites, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Back when my day was just all ply and dirt, that was scary. But now it's actually, I can sit back and enjoy riding because, you know, if you do crash, there's a bit of forgiveness there.
Yeah.
And I had a massive crash on the recent tour doing the 3-person flip. We pretty much landed on our
I saw
heads.
that on Instagram.
Yeah, it was massive. If that was to the old landings, we'd all be still in hospital, I would think.
Wow.
You know, 3 dudes upside down, the 450 on top of you. We just all got up and walked away. So now it's cool. It's a lot safer, a lot more forgiving for us, and it's great for me being almost 38. Like I'll be 40 soon before I know it, and it's awesome. That motivates me to be able to keep on and performing. But I think with that landing, it's going to take the wow factor away. Yeah. You know, the crowd's there. The excitement.
Gotcha.
The exciting thing about Nitro Circus is like they don't really want to see you crash because they don't want to see you get hurt. But now, that's the part of the excitement. You crash, you get carted off. Everyone's like, wow, fuck, this is gnarly.
Yeah.
But now, if you're going to crash and walk away, they'll be like, it's just going to take that wow factor away, I think.
I think I went a few years ago, and I think at one point they had a bloke in a wheelchair go down a massive ramp.
He was just here on the recent tour.
Like, I remember watching that going, holy crap. Like,
He's fucking...
So,
he's a legend, yeah.
What are some of the other Nitro athletes? Are they like skateboarding? Is it...
Skateboarding, scooter, like Ron Williams, he's one of the big names now. Willie, he's a scooter rider, BMX rider as well. Yeah. A lot of BMXers, mountain bikers, and us dirt bike riders, and we do that 3-person flip. And
can you jump? Oh, actually, this is what I was going to ask. I remember going to one of the shows, and it was a 3-person flip. And they went and grabbed someone from the crowd, and I want to know: is that someone? Is that a real stranger, or is that an actor? Is that an actor? He's not. Yeah. He's no comment. Yeah.
They're real people. They're real.
Yeah. You heard it here first.
Because I want, like, is it a hard thing to keep the show on the road, so to speak, because of like as the world gets more politically correct and like the more extreme things get, there must be massive insurance.
It's not too bad. They got all like it's such a tight. The company itself do such an amazing job. Yeah. Getting all us guys around the world traveling and all the ramps and all the crew, everything's like they've done such an awesome job to put it all together and to make it work. Which we always thought back in the day before it'd be impossible to be able to run a tour like this, but they made it work. And
this might be a really silly question. Do you take your bike over to the States or
no? They'll always get bikes for us.
Okay.
I'll just take if I head over there, say in a few weeks, I'll just take my suspension handlebars, and seat, just all the
So what about outside of it all? What are your interests? Tell us a little bit more about your business and. Yeah,
so right now, just before COVID, which I was very luckily, I bought into a transport business. Yeah. So I got my own truck. It's a semi truck, and it's contracted work with Bristol Roofing, so it's just carting roof tiles to all the new homes. Yep. Got a fork on the back. Forklift, it's like a little tractor. That's fun, it's like driving a freaking off-road buggy around the sites. It's I enjoy it. It's cool. I'm very relieved now. I've got something to work on after.
Yeah, so that's your transition out of...
Transition, So I got that about 4 years ago. Yep. And sort of worked all throughout COVID because there was no shows at all, so there wasn't much riding going on. So knuckled down and worked in my truck over COVID. Bought my second truck start of the year. Yep. And then I... now, which I'm very thankful, I've got a couple of good drivers that drive both trucks, so now I can sort of worry about being a good dad and ride dirt bikes and fit it all in now. It makes it a bit easier. Yeah. But the plan is to expand that business, get a few trucks. So I'll get my third truck actually end of this month. Nice. It's been a goal of mine, 4 years ago was to get 3 trucks, and it's all happened really quick,
Wow.
So 4 years later.
The neighbours happy too.
Yeah, that's right. Oh no, my neighbour's still pissed off that the truck makes noise now. But I said I'm very stoked with how it's all worked out. Got 3 trucks in 4 years, and to be able to still travel and do a few shows and
and now you've got a few stallions as well, just a couple of little race horses.
Yeah, I got a couple. That's a little hobby of ours. Sort of Richard Lemming, the horse trainer. We ran into him about 12 months ago, I think, about 2 years ago. And he condescended buying a horse, and the next minute, a few beers later, 5 horses later.
Yeah, he's signing the dotted line.
But right now I'm on a high because one of our horses, Neroni, won in Mornington in April, and then won again start of the week.
Yep. Love to know that feeling.
Yeah.
Tell me about your feeling about horses. What do you got?
Explain the situation if we can quickly, because we are running out of time. But
well, very briefly, Doss's old man, a few years ago, he sadly passed away since, but... Okay. going back, how many years ago was this?
Oh, probably 7.
7 years ago, basically. I was just going, so still not a year. It wasn't over beers, but I just went over to his house for, to catch up with Dos.
Yep.
And I walked out signing a contract to, part owning a racehorse. So his dad got this horse all the way from England. Was racing in France. Was winning races.
Yeah.
He flew over to Royal Ascot to watch this horse run.
Yeah.
And it didn't run. It was an emergency. Yeah.
And it was an expensive horse. And they were saying, we've just outbidded Gay Waterhouse for it. And everyone's like, wow, we've got to get on it.
The goal was to get to the Melbourne Cup.
Oh, it
Really?
was.
Yeah, legit.
It was big. Anyway,
But how much of it did we own?
We owned. So we got in a syndicate.
Yeah.
But we didn't even own a share in the syndicate. We owned a share of a syndicate. So we owned like 0.25% of this horse.
Me, you, and Jai.
So the three of us who were best mates in school, and we went to its first race, and it was a big event.
In Australia.
We all suited up, at Sandown.
Yeah.
We all suited up,
Yeah.
and so imagine the people that are putting like 50k, 100k that actually own good percentages of the horse. Well, guess who got into the owner's room and we're eating all the
Sausage rolls.
It was
Yeah,
us. So these blokes who've actually put in serious money left on the outside, while we've snuck our way in. You had to borrow a tie to get in on the inside.
But the funniest thing was, Kev, was head trainer, where there's the obviously the owner's stand where everyone sits to watch the race. Well, D sat down. I'm sitting next to D and my dad. The trainer is sitting next to D, who owns the tiniest little, and he puts his arm on D's leg and goes, "Let's go." And
as the horse is going around, he's riding it with me, and he's going, "Oh, this is a perfect position right now. Like it's sitting, 4 from the back, and he's going to come around, and then literally the thing just
it came last,
going backwards, and as it came around the bend, he's like tapping on his leg, and he's like, "It's going," and then it just came last, and I think it's dog food now.
Yeah. Just the fact that we didn't even
It
own
must
it.
be good dog food though.
Yeah, tasty.
Maybe.
Must be top of the shelf dog food.
Yeah.
Maybe Dennis had it. I don't know, yeah.
No, he's bottom of the shelf. He's whatever.
Yeah. So I guess the next part of your career, it looks like it's slowly, you're building something for, I guess, your family to have for the next however many years.
Yeah.
Now, when you lose, or not that you're going to lose it, but when you finish, how do you reckon you're going to feel when you aren't riding bikes professionally or touring as much? Are you going to really miss it?
I think so, 100%. Like, yeah, I will, because I guess I've been in the same situation as my dad. My dad stopped riding and he had kids, and then he bought me a bike and I started riding. So I think it's going to be a bit of a smooth transition for me. I don't think I'll ever stop riding bikes. I'll be riding bikes for as long as I can. Maybe not performing or competing, doing freestyle. Maybe that might fade away a bit, but I'll ride motocross for a long time. Most weekends, me and my son Roxon just go to the local tracks and cut motos, and I still love it. I've got a little track on my front paddock, and we both ride that. Obviously, it's a bit wet today, but I'm always out there most days. Yeah. So I don't think I'll ever give it up. As for performing and stuff in Nitro, that's obviously going to come to an end sooner or later. Probably got another couple of years left, I think. Yeah. Maybe because we've got New Zealand tour coming up in November. I'm going to go over there. That's the 3-week tour. Take the family with me. Nice. Make a bit of a holiday.
Yeah, beautiful. And
there's Europe and Japan and stuff next year, but I'll just take it as it comes, I guess. Like I said, I've got my business now. That's the main thing.
You're not relying on it.
That's right. I'm not relying on the show fees anymore. So I'll just take it as it comes. And if there's tours pop up and people want me to ride shows, I'll put the boots back on for sure. But as long as it's in a safe environment, safe setting, like the Nitro Circus with the airbag lander, it's pretty safe. So that motivates me now to be able to still go out there and have a crack.
For sure.
What about too if your kids come to you and say, I want to try a backflip? Are you encouraging of that kind of stuff, or is it something you want to steer them away from? And what's Brooke's approach to it too? Is there a bit of
what do you think Brooke's approach would be?
I think I know.
Yeah, I think I know.
No, I told Lottie I'd like to do how to do the 3-person flip on tour. I'd love to put one day I'll put my kids on the bike with me. We'll do a flip into the foam pit. Yeah. For sure. And if I'm just gonna let my kids do what they want to do. I'll try to point in the right direction. And with the sport we're in now, obviously it's a lot safer with the airbag landings and stuff. So my kids want to try a bit of freestyle, I'll be there and I'll teach them the right way to do it, for sure. Cool.
And lastly, I guess, as we finish up, a bit towards our mission and our message, do you have any kind of pieces of advice for a person that's, I guess, transitioning from, whether it's 18 to mid-20s to going into the early 30s, and they're in that unsure phase? You said earlier, you didn't know what you wanted to do.
Yeah, that's right.
How do you get through something like that?
I know, I guess it's different for everyone in that aspect, but I was sort of lucky as I had a hobby which I really enjoyed doing, and so I just followed my dreams, and that sort of led into where I am now. So I guess if it's like, you know, when you're at that stage, early 20s, you're not sure where you are or what you want to do, it's just sort of just chase your dreams, I guess. You know, you're still at that age where you just don't know, it could go either way. But as long as you sort of enjoy yourself, don't get stuck into something you don't like. That will sort of, you know, you won't sort of, I don't think you'll get far, but if you can find something you enjoy doing, just keep at it.
Well, your 20s are for taking risks.
Yeah, that's right.
You can always settle and get a job in your 30s, can't
Exactly right. That's right. Yeah, exactly. I'm 38. I've only just, you know, started my, you know, a proper career that's going to get me through life, you know, where dirt bikes was never going to get me through life. It's going to come to an end sooner or later.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, no, I think just try to enjoy what you do, and you just never know where it's going to take
advice.
you.
Mate, it's great advice, and honestly, I've just loved listening to you tell stories
No,
and
thanks.
hear your story and some of, you know, your career and what you've been through. And mate, honestly, one of my favourite podcasts we've done nearly 100 of them now. And
cheers, thanks guys.
but
No,
yeah,
we've
really
loved it.
appreciate it, mate.
Thanks for having us in your home.
No
too.
worries. Thanks for coming down. It was
Loved
good. Enjoyed it.
Awesome.